Hello indie fans and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. This is Nick speaking, and today I would like to show you Not Tetris. Not Tetris, but Not Tetris. You can think about that for a second if you need to, but we're definitely going to not be looking at Tetris. So, I would also like to take a moment and tell you how relieved I am that I actually can find a freaking game that I can record, because I've gone through about 3 in a row now that have either given me issues with recording or just not worked at all. And that's something I don't really think about very often, but that there's always a chance that every game I start, it will just simply not work. So yeah, I've been doing that quite a bit actually lately, and I don't like it. So, what the hell is Not Tetris, you probably are wondering? Well, if you can't tell by looking at it, basically it's just actual Tetris, just without being locked onto a grid. So there's sort of like physics to this stuff, and it's kind of a ridiculous mess to play. This is mostly just for fun, it's like not trying to be a serious game, but I think you could definitely confuse a few of your friends if they think they're about to play a legit game of Tetris and then all of a sudden this is happening. I don't know how you could make a single line like this, honestly. I'm actually pretty good at Tetris generally, and this is not indicative of my performance. I think I'm like totally screwed because I can never really get these things to sit properly again. Oh look, and they even have a weight and they knock each other over. I totally don't really get the point of this, like, you're just gonna make a stack of junk. It looks like there's a meter on the side of, like, the left side of the screen that's showing you how close you might be to making a line, like a strength meter. So if you can just fill up enough stuff into there, then I guess you'll be good to go. Do people play this, like, to try and get high scores? I can't even imagine getting any score, really. I mean, this is just like, let's just... Oh, I got one randomly. Oh wow, and it just splits them all in half, too. Interesting, it's sort of like a Gantz laser came and cut away. Definitely like how they use the original art assets and music. I think that really lends to how strange this experience is. And a nice touch too that there are lines actually to see where these lines would land, since we no longer have a grid to compare things by. Yeah, if they expected you to just make like legit normal lines like you would in actual Tetris, I can't see how you would get any. At least since we have a different scoring method in a way, I think it's maybe possible to get a couple. Still, this is not something I would try and have a tournament in. Look at the little pieces that are left. So what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Just try and stack up enough stuff, I guess. Oh, well, this is about over. I should definitely have gone with something harder, eh? Yeah, damn right, game over. Oh, what a relief to be able to type in that field with a keyboard after my entire life not being able to do that. I want to listen to C-type, because C-type is the best type. How do I start it? There we go. Alright, so the first block, you're set. Unless you hit that. Then you're totally not set anymore. Alright, that actually landed perfectly. Let's see if I can try and keep this on the rails here a little bit. Alright, let's go back around. Well, it's already a little bit off, but it's looking better than the first game, I have to say. Oh, well. There goes that pipe dream. So the way that the rotation works, because you probably can't really tell since you're not actually controlling it, is Z and X are left and right, but it doesn't rotate it in any finite quantity, it just starts it spinning. So you can try and adjust it back and forth, but you'll never land it like directly on the exact grid axis. Well, at least you probably won't. That was like the closest I've gotten in a while. So you have to start to deal with how much you want to be rotating these things. So I picked stack mode. I'm not really sure what my goal here is. Tiles 11. I'm so confused. I thought I knew how to play Tetris after all these years. Well, this is not Tetris, so I don't know why I would have thought that. Okay, it gets pretty frustrating pretty quickly, since the majority of this game is just you're not able to control it at all. So then you immediately start holding down on the arrow key and power bombing all of your pieces into each other. I still don't know what my goal is for this mode. Not sure I care. But this is a great example of taking a game that we all know and love and doing something really kind of original with it, actually. And it may even save your leaderboard scores, which is something that the original Tetris never did. I was never too happy about that. I spent a lot of hours playing that game. I kind of wanted to know what my progress was. Oh, so close. Well, as you can tell, this is probably not going to be the longest episode, but still, I hope you might get a chuckle out of this. I mean, it's kind of just a silly game, and it's sort of an experiment more than a game, really. Because how playable is this, really? You can watch me doing it, it's like, not really something you'd want to spend much time with. You want to freak out your friends for a minute, and tell them, try Tetris like this. Everybody's been drinking. Throw this in front of them. See what they do. Pretty sure it'll end in hilarity, so... yeah, drinking, indie games... works well together, especially Binding of Isaac. I'm sure you've heard me rant about that before. That could be an interesting list to make. Top 5 or top 10 indie games to play while you're drunk. Preferably with friends. Otherwise it becomes, I don't know, something sad. I'd say the only game you should probably be playing when you're drunk is Diablo 3. I don't know why. Makes the loot grind a little easier, perhaps. Well, I'm sort of running out of patience for this. Not really getting anywhere. I've got a pretty solid right corner, though, I will say. Definitely a commendable effort. That's not gonna work. Alright, screw that. Powerbomb time. If anything, you also got to listen to the old classic Tetris music, which is always a good time. And that bizarre sound, I've always wondered what the hell that sound is when you lose. It reminds me of those jumping flies from the original Mario for Game Boy, Super Mario Land. So I didn't beat my first score because I really wasn't trying that hard. But that will be it for this episode of Indie Impressions. Make sure you head on over to facebook.com/IndieImpressions, where I post every night's video. Feel free to leave a comment, say hi, make some fan art if you feel like it, whatever you want to do. I also have Twitter, @RockLeeSmile and @IndieImpression. That's where I tend to post strange things about the indie game world all night, and you can feel free to follow me, and then we can have bizarre discussions about Spelunky and stuff. Other than that, feel free to send me lots of suggestions for indie games. I am always accepting them. Don't worry if you think they're super obvious. I don't care. Even if I've done them already, just send whatever the hell you want. It's fine. All I want is interaction with you guys. That's why I do this. It's a lot of fun to talk about this stuff, further the discussion, and hopefully show you guys some new indie games maybe you've never heard of or seen before. So that is it for this episode. You have now seen Not Tetris, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow with a new episode.